But the first game of the day was the Bills and the Lions. Bills got out with a dub. Nasty throw by Josh Allen. That throw was a all-pro throw, all-world throw. It was a great throw. It was a great route. Diggs kind of got open, but that's a big, what do you get there? 38, 40 yards, puts them in position to steal that game from the Lions, who played good. They almost had their fifth straight win. Every time it looked like the Bills were going to put them out, they just kept fucking fighting. And for real, as good of a throw as that was by Josh Allen and as clutch of a play as it was, like that's, like I said, that's an MVP throw right there.
Yep.
He's not MVP though. He got outdueled, and I'll argue you numbers. He got outdueled by Jared Goff. I don't care what anybody says. He got outdueled by Jared Goff. Jared Goff threw for 13 less yards. They both threw for the same amount of touchdowns, and Josh Allen threw a pick to where Jared Goff didn't. And Jared Goff had to where Josh Allen was responsible for his turnovers. Jared Goff got messed up on a fumble that wasn't his responsibility. And look, they lose by 3. Jared Goff outdueled Josh Allen. I don't care what you say. I'm not saying he's a better quarterback, but in that game, he outdueled him.
Yeah, he outdueled him in the passing game for sure. And Jared Goff had 5 less passes with only 17 less passing yards.
13.
No, I'm sorry, 7 less. 17 less. Dude, I'm 13 less passing yards.
Yes, 13 less passing yards, 5 less attempts. And Jared Goff had a better QBR.
But Josh Allen on the ground, 10 for 78. Still, again, I can't fathom it anymore. Your quarterback should not have more rushing yards than your running backs. I don't care if it's Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, or Josh Allen, or Justin Fields. It's just, I mean, we all know it happens, but in my opinion, it should never happen.
I mean, listen, though. So that's where I said that as a quarterback, Jared Goff outdueled Josh Allen.
Oh, absolutely.
But not as an overall player, because Josh Allen is so much more than just a quarterback that throws the ball. He did lead them in rushing yards. And I'm like this, bro. If it works, why do you care? Like, if Jalen's going to lead the Eagles in rushing yards over Miles Sanders, I really don't care. If they're winning, Justin Fields. Now, that's a situation where I'm kind of like, I know the kid don't got a lot of talent around him, but it's like, that's not equal in winning. But if your team's winning and you're doing that, who cares? At least that's my opinion.
No, I hear you. The difference is like Josh Allen just doesn't know when to slide. That's what scares you.
He's
look,
he
he's a
like
dog. I know, but I love that he wants to fight for the extra 2-3 yards. But I mean, that's always. I mean, it's for any position though. But your quarter. I mean, that's why the NFL tries to protect the quarterback so much. But Josh Allen just doesn't give a fuck.
No, I mean, and that's what's made him the quarterback that he is. And he's big enough, bro. Josh Allen, that's a big dude. Like, he's built. So typically, it's quarterbacks who are trying to avoid the hit. Josh Allen is he's so big, he's so strong. That dude's trying to create the contact. He's like, no, if you're gonna tackle me, you're gonna get this. I'm gonna fuck you up in the process. Like, you can get the tackle, but it's not no light shit over here. And he's, like I said a couple weeks ago, he's like kind of transforming the quarterback position. You see so many other quarterbacks are like that now. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is once he gets down inside that 5, he's not going down. He gets inside 2 yards of a first down that he needs. He's not going to the ground. He's not stepping out and saying, no, we got another play. Fuck that. It don't even matter if it's second down. Dude's lowering his shoulder. You seen Justin Fields the other day. Came on a quarterback draw to the left side. He got to the goal line, and there was 2 defenders there, and he cut up, and he like he was shot out of a cannonball right through the defender's chest, in touchdown, and the defender was fucked up on the play. Mm-hmm. These quarterbacks are changing, bro. Like, they're still going to get protected, and they don't want to get hit when they're being blindsided or drugged down by a 300-pound lineman. So they're still going to protect them in that regards. And then, of course, when you're sliding or if you're about to step out of bounds, and these dudes are cheap shot, and I think they should get penalized every time. But when it comes to running the ball, like, these quarterbacks are getting more aggressive. They're getting more talented, more athletic, and it's a skill set that, I mean, you see a lot of teams go in that way. There's no more. I love the guy, but there's no more Peyton Mannings. Tom Brady's a dying breed. This stand in the pocket, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, don't move. And no, there's just look at the wave of young quarterbacks. Even the unathletic ones can still move.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's a whole new, again, the quarterback position has transcended. And I think between Josh Allen, between Mahomes, between Lamar, like it's the wave of the future right now. It's what's in and it's what's working.
Yeah, you mean Jared Allen, right? Not Josh Allen.
Jared Allen.
Fucking
He just
ESPN with that bullshit. Dude, I got the notification. I'm looking at it and I'm like, who the fuck is Jared Allen? And I clicked on it and I know they fucked up and they meant Josh Allen, but guy fucking throws a great pass, wins the game, and they can't even get his name right.
Yeah, he was on one of the podcasts I was listening to a couple weeks ago, and he had like just got inducted into, maybe it was the Vikings Hall of Fame or some shit. They had this dude riding in on a horse. I was like, Vikings fans are just, I like them so much less. And I'm fucking proud to be able to say I was all over Minnesota when they were hot. And then that Dallas game, I jumped off. And then last week I jumped back on. And or this week I jumped back on. And I don't know. I just think against the top teams, Minnesota is going to struggle. But yeah, so
good.
I fucked up in this game and it could cost me. We're in the thick of a fantasy championship run over here. And I benched Isaiah McKenzie. I had him in and I took him out and he blew up. And then, yo, for real. Now, this is where I'm going to kind of get some wishful thinking. Why the fuck is DeAndre Swift getting 5 carries? Why is Justin Jackson getting 4? What are they doing to Swift, bro? I mean, he had 8 targets. Maybe they're trying to use him as more of as a receiving back, but the dude got talent, bro. I watched him all game. I watched him his whole career.
Dude, they even gave him the ball in the red zone. Finally, he scored. They called it back, and that's when Amram St. Brown scored. I wrote in a group chat. I was so excited. I was like, we have a Swift sighting, and fucking 2 minutes later, they called the touchdown back. But it's like, I mean, listen, he's on my fantasy team. I did bench him. I've benched him the past couple weeks, but I don't know if he's too good. He's so athletic and so agile. He's so good to be riding Jamal Williams' coattail, even though Jamal Williams is playing great football. But I mean, I understand Jamal Williams is going to get all the red zone touches no matter what. I mean, DeAndre Swift can't even get midfield touches right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yo, question for you. So Jamal Williams has 734 yards, 13 touchdowns. Dude's leading. He's leading the league in rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, I think he just passed Austin Eckler. I think in total touchdowns, didn't he? Did he yet or no? It might have just been rushing touchdowns.
So if he finishes right, if he's, what are we? Are we a little bit more than? Hey, we're more than halfway through. How many games have they played? They played what? 11 games?
11, yeah. So you got what, 6 more games?
Yeah. So do you think if he finishes with like 13 or 14, let's say 1,400 yards, right? And that would be him going crazy, like when he had 108 versus Seattle. Like he'd have to put up some numbers. No more of these 59s or 60s. Like he has to get on his horse to get to 1,400. But if he finishes with like 1,400 yards, but he has like 20 touchdowns, is he like, do them touchdowns make him an all-pro candidate? Like, is he gonna get recognition over some of the other backs that are doing it, on the ground, getting yards, getting catches? Like, is he gonna be looked at over a guy like McCaffrey who does it on the ground, in the air, everywhere, or like Barkley or shit, even the running backs in Dallas as a tandem?
He was a decent running back in Green Bay. I mean,
he's not even top 10 in rushing yards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like you got to all pro, isn't that like more? It's like, so I don't know. I'm not too familiar. Honestly, I'm not too familiar with like how the voting goes for like an all pro team. I don't know if they just go by your 1 year stats or what they do, but like for him to be like considered a top guy, I would assume like he would have to keep it consistent.
Okay, let me rephrase that then. Fuck the all pro. Would you look at him as a top? If he finishes with 20 touchdowns, he's going to finish number 1 with touchdowns for a running back, and like 1,400 yards, he's not going to be in the top 10. I wouldn't say, right? So right now he's sitting at 11th, but he's what? He's number 1 in touchdowns, like we said. what's his average? It's even worse when you look at his average. All right, but what I'm trying to get at is if he finishes around like 1,400 yards per se, right? He's outside the top 10 in rushing yards, but he keeps getting all them goal line touches, so he racks up, 20 rushing touchdowns. And then you got a guy like Josh Jacobs who doesn't have the amount of touchdowns, but Josh Jacobs is probably going to rush for 17 or 1,800 yards. And then you got a guy like Nick Chubb who's going to probably get like 16, 17 touchdowns and like 1,800 yards. Is he going to be? Would he be in your top 3 running backs? Let's say. Let's phrase it like that.
No.
Okay, so yards over touchdowns.
I would put all-purpose yards over everything. So, I mean, how many? I don't know if you have the stats pulled up. How many receiving yards does Jamal Williams have?
Jamal Williams has 57 receiving yards.
And what's his? I could probably look it up too. What's his off the top? What's his longest rushing touchdown?
51. Well, his longest rush of the season is 51 yards.
So, I mean, he's gonna get his credit because he gets. I mean, he's like, I'm not comparing, but we all know they're not even in the same comparison. But the year that LaDainian Tomlinson had over 20 rushing yards, I believe like 70% of them came from inside the red zone. I mean, listen, you put points up on the board. That's all that matters. I don't care if you score 41-yard touchdown runs. You're still putting up 6 points per score. So that still counts for something. But would I put him in like a category as a top 3 running back? No, only because that's all he does is run. Now, if he was a threat out of the backfield in a receiving game and a screen game, then absolutely. But he's not. And it's just proven that he's not. That's where they're using DeAndre. Said he gets 8 targets. But, I mean, I don't know what's going on there, and I don't even know if Swift is going to be there next year.
Yeah, he's
Jamal Williams coming into the season this year was not supposed to be the starting running back.
And he's 5th in the league in attempts, 177. He's 11th in yards, 1st in touchdowns.
It's crazy when you have Swift out there, and he's not. It's
they don't like him. 36th in yards per carry.
Bro, this is where like you get so like me, I'm guilty of it, getting all caught up in that Hard Knocks bullshit because I thought like going in Deuce, like you would see everything. Deuce was all heavy on Swift this, Swift is getting this, he's gonna get this. Preseason Swift is getting this, but then Jamal Williams and the one like dishing out his heart and his passion, crying in front of the group of guys. And then now he's the one that has 13 touchdowns, and Swift has what, 3-4 total touchdowns this year?
Yeah, but I mean, they came out in week 1. Swift had 15 carries for 144 yards against the Eagles and a touchdown. He averaged 9.6 a carry. Week 2 against Washington, 11.2 per carry. They only gave him 5 attempts. After it was like he came out and he killed it. He only got 15 attempts week 1, and he put up 144 yards and a touchdown. And he had 3 catches on 3 targets for 31 yards. So dude was a walking first down. Literally, every time he touched the ball, he got a first down. And then in the second game, he was doing the same thing, and they just went away from him. In the running game, he had 5 attempts, then 7, 5, 2, 6, 5, 5. And it's like the dude is just completely his average yard per carry on the season is higher than Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams is like a 4.1. Swift is like a 5.8. I don't know if there's got to be, I don't know. Send him home. Send him to Philly. That was literally what I had on my note here. Send him to Philly. And all that was to say, I think Jamal Williams is a great running back. But I think they should send Swift. We'll send you somebody. Don't worry. You don't want him anyway. All right. I mentioned earlier that the New York Giants were frauds, and I stick to my statement because I don't trust Danny Dimes. And Dallas did, they picked up a great win. I can't hate on them. 28, what was it? 28-20. And this was the game I was using to kind of measure both teams. The Giants, I didn't think that they were for real. I thought that they were frauds, and this game absolutely confirmed it for me. I do not believe in them. I believe in their defense a little bit. I believe in Saquon. That's it. Nobody else. To where conversely, on the other side, these last couple weeks, I've reluctantly bought into Dallas. I think Dallas is is, I'll give you a sneak peek. They're in the top 5 of my power rankings. I think that Dallas has turned a corner. I think that the Minnesota win was nice, but that was like, I'm more impressed by this win than I was the Minnesota win, because all it takes, we know what Minnesota is. You punch them in the mouth early and you can get on them. If you're able to capitalize them, you get on them and you put them the fuck away. And that's what Dallas did. That's what we did. Like, the good teams are going to do that to Minnesota. But the Giants, that first half, the Giants, they looked like I was like, okay, that's just the way. Maybe I don't need Danny Dimes to fucking go and throw 3 touchdowns a game to believe in this team, because they got a really good defense. And the defense was holding Dallas down. It was 13-7 at halftime. And Dak looked like shit. He had, like, I counted 2 or 3 big misses on easy throws. He had a bad interception. He had 2 interceptions that were questionable throws. But it was slow, and it just felt like Dallas was waiting to explode, to take off. And the Giants weren't able to sustain it. Dallas's defense is weak in one spot. And by weak, I mean that's like that would be their slight weakness, because they're even decent there. But is the rushing attack. And Saquon had 11 carries. That's, to me, that's a joke. I don't understand, again, how Saquon gets 11 carries, and let's see, he got 6 targets, so he gets 17 design plays, right? And Daniel Jones had 38 design plays. Like, I understand he's spreading it out to everyone, including Saquon, but it's just crazy. And it's not like Saquon was bumming it up. He had 11 carries for 39 yards and a touchdown. And then their backup had 5 carries for 31 yards. So the rushing attack was working. They still decided to go with fucking Daniel Jones. And the dude just is not that guy. He's not the quarterback that's going to fucking win you a game. This team has been all about defense and rushing the ball. And too many times you see, the New York Giants are very unfortunate too. This is the one team I watch, and they're always getting the shit end of the stick. They're fucking, like, they're not always, shit is not good. I don't give a fuck what the record says. Shit is not good in New York. I don't believe in the team. I hate it, because they have potential to be good, but I just don't believe in their coach. I don't believe in their quarterback. I believe in a couple of players. But again, Dallas, bro, they were able to hold Saquon in check, I guess you could say, because New York forgot about him. Zeke and Tony Pollard are dogs. They're dogs. That's a hell of a 1-2 punch in the NFC. Zeke's back. Zeke's back, and Zeke looks better than he did before. 16 carries, 92 yards, a touchdown. Tony Pollard, 18 carries, 60 yards. They are if they are going to continue. Now I'm sorry, I don't mean to fucking dog. They got the better quarterback. Dak is better than Daniel Jones. Do you argue against that?
Absolutely no. No shot.
All right,
no.
All right. So Dallas has the better quarterback, right? The Giants had 35 passing attempts, 21 rushing attempts. The Cowboys, with the better quarterback and the better receivers and the better tight end, threw the ball 30 times. So they threw 5 less times than the Giants, right? They ran the ball 39 times. Their fucking Saquon had 11. The Cowboys had 2 running backs with more carries than Saquon, and Saquon had a better average per carry than both of them. I don't fucking get it. So to where this is where I spit on the Giants, say, get out of here. You're not going to be in my top 10 ever again. Get them the fuck out of here. The Cowboys are rising, and I do think that the Cowboys are a force in the NFC. What do you think?
100%. I mean, their offense is clicking. When you got Zeke and Tony Pollard running the ball over 15 times each, I mean, they're going to get the yards. Tony Pollard is a dog. He's a threat out of the backfield in the receiving game also. And then you open up the game with like guys like CeeDee Lamb. And then you have finally your boy Dalton Schultz had a big game. But what's crazy is, yeah, it's your boy.
Nope.
Every Cowboys game, he's a key player to watch for you.
And every Cowboys game he delivers, bro. And he's not my boy. Just like I would say when Cooper Rush is quarterback, Noah Brown is a player to watch, because Noah Brown and Cooper Rush, for some reason, they're like Matt Stafford and fucking Cooper Kupp. And It's the same thing with Dak and Dalton. Dak is always looking for this dude. And when, he's a top 3 fantasy tight end when Dak is a quarterback, bro. Go look at the numbers, Tom.
I agree. You
Don't
just have a
my
soft
boy, though.
You have a soft spot for Cowboy tight ends.
No. Whoa, that's gay. You can't say that either. I can't. Not
Your
you.
boy Jason Witten. But to your defense, I don't know one person that hates Jason Witten. But anyway,
me. I don't hate him. Not me.
No, me neither. I mean, he played the game right, and he's unreal, and he's a Hall of Famer. But to get back,
all right, don't talk too good about the guy. Fuck him.
They Dalton Schultz got involved. I don't even know who this Hendershot guy is, but he got involved. CeeDee Lamb had a great game in the receiving game. I believe he had over 100 yards. He had 106 yards. Michael Gallup had 5 for 63.
Mm-hmm.
But that boy, the defensive player of the year, had 2 more sacks yesterday.
He's a bro. I haven't seen anything like this dude, bro. I haven't even gotten to sit down and I want to sit down and watch all of his plays on the season, like his highlights. Bro, he's like a highlight every play.
It's crazy. It's like I'm not mad we got Devontae Smith, but now it's like, damn.
Oh, I love Devontae Smith.
Yo, me too, but I'm just like,
give me Micah Parsons though.
Oh, absolutely. But it wasn't like one of them. Everybody knew Micah Parsons was great, but nobody knew he was going to be the player he is. But
I wouldn't say I can't name the people, but I know I remember just simply because I don't remember who it was. But I do remember seeing like on my Facebook list and listening to this podcast and different shit like that. There were definitely people that were on the Micah train. Maybe I thought maybe it was hype because he's Penn State. This is PA. Everywhere I heard it was around here. And anyone from here is the next greatest thing ever. But there were some people that were on the Micah train and said this dude's going to be fucking for real. And I was very much Devontae Smith is a great receiver. I think he's on his way to being, he could be a number 1 when AJ Brown, because he's younger. When AJ Brown is slowing down, Devontae Smith could morph into the number 1 and we could still have that duo. But I would trade him for Michael Parsons. I would fucking trade whatever we'd have to go back and just swap that, or like whatever we had to do. Micah's a game changer.
But that's what's crazy is because Dallas is the one that traded with us, and we both got who we wanted the entire time.
Yeah, and when I say this dude's a game changer, like what's the last defensive game changer that in his prime you were like, holy shit, unstoppable? Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald was the last one that was like, wow, this dude is Superman. And now Michael Parsons has taken Aaron Donald's role as Superman. He's the best defensive player in the league. If he's going to make people consider, I think that the MVP should be changed. I think there should be an offensive MVP, defensive MVP. Like, you can't continue to look down on, and I'm not saying they're looking down on him, but by not even he's been talking about that this week, about why the MVP is a quarterback driven award. And I think he's making a great case. Just how take him away from that defense right now. And all Dante Fowler don't look as good. That young kid that they got in the middle that's balling, he don't look as good. The offense don't look as good if Mike is not in there because he's the one fucking causing havoc to give them short fields and to get them the ball back so much. That dude is, if he wasn't there, I wouldn't believe any. I wouldn't think Dallas is a top 10 team. With him there, I think they're in the top 5. I think he's that good. I think he's the best defensive player in the league. Sign me up. I wish he was on Philly.
I mean, he's got 12 sacks on the year. He's one behind Matthew Judon from New England. And then the next person behind him has 10.5 with Nicky Bosa.
And he has a game. So he's one behind the sack leader in the league?
Yep.
He has a game this year where he was on the field for 43 snaps, and he only lined up on the line for 2 of them. He played linebacker the whole game. That's ridiculous. He switches back and play. He's not always on the fucking line, and he's second in the league. He's one behind the league leader in sacks.
Yo, as I'm looking this up, guess who leads the league in tackles? With 110 tackles total.
Number
tackles.
40, number 44 for the Indianapolis Colts.
Yo, just thinking of that he has 110 tackles already, and we're only 12 weeks in with 6 games left.
He's everywhere. He is I seen it with Jamal Williams. There was a thing where you could buy into player stocks, I guess it was. You buy him at like Jamal Williams was at like 10 cents or 11 cents, and he shot up to $11. It's like gambling, but stocks for players. If you cash in on Zaire Franklin right now, he's still kind of down there. He's still kind of, that dude is going to be an all-pro player. Watch. I fucking have, I've been telling you I don't know how long I've been telling you this kid is, he's a hard worker. I can vouch for that. I can vouch for it.
Is he like another Luke? Is he like another Luke Kuechly?
Luke was extremely physical. Luke Kuechly was one of the craziest and most physical linebackers I remember seing in the last.
He play without a helmet on.
Yeah, he's a fucking wild child. It's just they're like the way that they carry themselves are just not the same. But like in terms of play, if he gets more physical, yeah, I can see him. He's in every play. I watch all their highlights simply because I want to see what he's doing, and he's everywhere. And he's gonna if he finishes with the most tackles, which he will, bar an injury, this ain't gonna be the first and only time he wins that award. Again, he's everywhere. He's already the captain of that defense. You gotta remember that he's a defensive captain and he's a sticker caller from the beginning of the season on a defense that got Shaq Leonard. Like, that dude is one of the best linebackers in the league coming into this year, even though he was hurt. And you got this dude who's in his third or fourth year, and he's just taking over. He's the life of the defense right now. That defense is playing good. Yeah, it's my guy. He's a beast.
So he has what? So they played 11 games. So he has 6 games left. He's averaging right now 10 total tackles a game. Mm-hmm. If he could get 11 tackles a game for the rest of the year. If my math is right, he has 110. That'll be 1166. That'll be 176 total tackles. Would be the most total tackles in a single year for a defensive player, which is held right now by 2 players, Gerard Mayo and Patrick Willis. Both have 174 total tackles in one single season.
So he would break the record by 2.
He would break the record by 2, just assuming if he could average 11 a game for the rest of the year.
That's a tall task. That's a lot of fucking tackles. But how many has he averaged? Do you see how many he's averaged so far this year? Do you know how many he's averaged? They play what? You said 11 games?
Yeah. So this is total tackles, not combined tackles.
Well, combined tackles is the number that they go for. That's the number you're counting. That's where he's at 110. You still with me?
I think I am with you, yeah.
All right. So either way, regardless, if he's able to
just average 12 tackles a game for the next fucking games or next 6 games, you'll be in good fucking shape.
I think he will. He had 15 against the Titans, 12 against the Jags, 13 against Philly.
Well, it's just weird though, because when I looked it up, Jared Mayo and Patrick Willis are tied for the most combined tackles in a season with 174 tackles combined. But then, and that was in 2010, 2007. Mm-hmm. But then when I go to somewhere else, it says Foy Alukun in 2021 had 192 combined tackles. He had 102 tackles, 90 assisted tackles. Dude, I'm all over the fucking place.
It's all good. He got a lot of goddamn tackles is what I'm pretty much what I'm hearing here. Yeah, I see all different types of numbers. Regardless, let's get back to the game at hand, which was the Cowboys Giants. Cowboys look great, Giants look like shit, they're frauds. But then the nightcap was the Vikings and the Patriots, and the Minnesota Vikings had the fourth quarter that they needed to They put the fucking Patriots away. I was actually impressed with the Patriots. I was. I didn't get to watch too much. So I did watch the game, right? But here, I was driving home from Thanksgiving. So the only and we didn't get on the turnpike until more than halfway home. So I was able to, there was a lot of red lights where I was able to actually peek at the phone and watch, but I was listening the whole way. And the Patriots were just, every time I watched, the Patriot Mac Jones was making a throw and they battled offensively. I didn't think Mac Jones had that in him. And now he did throw the ball 40 times. But 382 yards is pretty impressive. I know Aguilar had a couple big catches. He had a lot of long passes though, so those numbers are definitely a little bit inflated. But good day from them, and they still fucking lose because Kirk Cousins decided to show up on a primetime game, and Justin Jefferson, you called it. What did you say in the group chat? He's back. And he was. He fucking he destroyed it. He did exactly what stars do. And even Thielen had 9 catches, only 61 yards, but he had a touchdown too. So Jefferson was able to get, and then there was a Jalen Rager sighting. He caught a 25-yard pass and he did his stupid little fucking celebration that he used to do here. And it made me fucking so irritated. I'm just like, dude, nice play. Can you string together like at this point? I wouldn't even be mad if he turned into a decent player. Just show that we weren't complete. I mean, we were complete dipshits and taking Rager over Jefferson, but show something. But you said you watched a good amount of this game, Tom.
Yeah, I watched the entire game.
All right, so what did you think on the game?
I mean, Minnesota did look. It did look a little scary for Minnesota at first. I guess the main thing with the game is what everybody's talking about is was that a catch at the end of the game? For Hunter Henry, was that a catch? I mean, that was. It's so like catching a ball is like so controversial in football today. It's just like,
nah, it wasn't a catch. Nope, they just played it. Hell no. It hits. I'm looking at it right now. It hits the ground. Once it touches the ground and it starts squirting around, and then he didn't catch that ball.
But you can't tell Patriot fans that.
Well, tell Patriots fans that a couple years ago against the Steelers, Jesse James did the same exact fucking thing, and it benefited them. And they said that that it's the rule. It's the rule. You got to live with the rule. All right. Well, it's the fucking rule. Live with the rule. It wasn't a catch. Was not a catch. Sean Ryan said that to me today. He said that if that's not a catch, then Corey Clement's touchdown wasn't a catch. And I was like, actually, I think the Zach Ertz catch is a perfect comparison. And they were both catches. They were both touchdowns. And
yeah, but Zach Ertz took 3 steps and the ball broke the plane before he even hit the ground. So he caught the ball on a slant route, took 3 steps and dove into the end zone, and the ground can't cause a fumble, and he made 3 football moves before he dove into the end zone. I mean, Corey Clement one is the one if you want to argue it, because looking like, I mean, first of all, that was a dime of a pass by Nicky Foles. Shout out Big Dick Nick for that pass, because that pass was on the money.
It was.
But other than that, I thought if any catch you're gonna argue about, that's the one. I thought Zach Ertz was clear cut, not even close.
Yeah, but so I don't think that it was a catch. And regardless, you lost. It wasn't a catch. They didn't. You know what? What did Jason Kelsey say? You loved to say it last week. It wasn't a fucking face mask.
Listen, it wasn't a catch.
Goddard.
It wasn't a catch because the ref didn't rule it a catch.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what you think. It's a matter what the refs think. If there's a blatant pass interference call and the refs don't call it, then guess what? There was no such thing as a pass interference call. You move on to the next play. But in that situation, unfortunately, too bad, you can move on to the next play. With that being said, Tom Flynn's Turkey Day lock of the week was a guaranteed hit.
It was. I perk up every time I hear the Tom Flynn lock of the week. I love it. And we're gonna have another one. We should have another one.
We do have another one. Don't worry, that's coming at the end of the show.
At the end of it. All right. So Vikings look good. Vikings get back on a winning streak, or back on a winning side, not a streak. And the Patriots drop a very important game because of how tight that division is and the fact that Buffalo already won. The Jets look like they got a very winnable game, and Miami is going to fucking smoke the Texans. So the Patriots are probably going to be the only team in the AFC East that loses this week. And yeah, the Jets are playing the Bears. So good luck to them. I don't know.